No, they're doing pretty good. Now let's talk about the Yankees. One of the best Yankee weeks in a while. I mean, an off-season week. If you want to think about what they made deal-wise, they signed CC Sabathia to a one-year deal for $10 million, which is something we had talked about a few weeks ago. I think you had mentioned actually 1 year, $10 million, if I'm not mistaken.
I said those exact words on this show. I don't know how many weeks ago.
Yeah,
probably 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. It was very, very close after the season ended. I said, CC, if he wants 2 years, let him go. If he wants 15 or 17 million, let him go. And I said, Brian Cashman, sign CC, 1 year, $10 million. So you know what? I'm glad Brian Cashman listens to the show.
Oh, I'm sure he
does. Because clearly he heard me.
I'm sure.
Clearly he said to himself as he was listening, Tim, that's a good idea.
I'm sure.
I'm going to do that.
I'm sure
that's
he said
what
that.
I'm going to do. And I'm going to play the tape for CC because he's going to see this is what the people want. So nice job, Brian Cashman, and thanks for listening.
I'm sure he says, "Damn, what's Tim Leonard have to say about this?" I won't call him, but I'll listen to his show.
It's a good move because it gives the Yankees and I will say it's not a move that comes without risk because CC last year had issues with his knee. He's an older guy, which means he's more susceptible to injury. He's pitching with a knee brace on his right knee. So
can't he lose some weight?
Really? You're saying that?
Yes.
The guy who doesn't want the Facebook Live shot from the side.
Yes. Because it's his job, and that's what you do if it's your job. If your job is to be 15 pounds thinner, you become 15 pounds thinner.
CC is a big guy. He's always been a big guy.
I know he likes the buffet. Come on.
The one season that he came in, he had lost something like 30 pounds. And
did it affect his pitching?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
He wasn't as good. And that was an issue.
It's not like I'm asking David Wells to come in.
But you are. That's basically what you are.
No, because
they're very similar body types.
Yeah, but David Wells is out there. He's at the bar. He's partying.
Doesn't matter. I don't understand what the difference is.
Because he lives his life differently.
If anything, that makes it worse.
He lives his life differently. And one thing about David Wells, I bet you he could go 4 innings. If you threw him in a game right now, I think he could probably go 4 innings.
He probably could. I don't know what kind of injury issues he has right now.
But he always had the rubber arm.
True, but so does CC in a lot of ways.
Really? Okay.
He's been a guy who's been reliable, dependable, a guy who you're never going to be worried about giving him the ball. And now, again, there's risk because of injury, but last season, I don't check CC's numbers from last season. He was something like 13-5 with like a 3.6 ERA. I'll take that all day from the guy who basically at this point is supposed to be my number 4 starter. The Yankees next season, the rotation as it looks right now, you got Luis Severino, 3rd place in the Cy Young voting this year. You got Masahiro Tanaka, who decided not to opt out on his contract, which was actually the right move. Sonny Gray, who they got from the Athletics, is going to have a full season with the Yankees next year. And now then CC and Jordan Montgomery right now is the 5th starter unless the Yankees decide to make the trade with the Pirates for Garrett Cole, which that's also being discussed right now.
What's the site I go to?
Just go to MLB.com.
MLB.com.
Yeah, and then just type in CC Sabathia and you'll get stats. It'll be beautiful. The Yankees also, like you said, Chase Headley was traded in what was just purely a salary dump. Chase Headley went to the San Diego Padres for an outfielder by the name of Jabari Blash. Jabari Blash is not going to have a significant impact with the Yankees. He is, at this point, their 7th outfielder. He's unneeded, and it wouldn't surprise me if he winds up getting traded as well, because either that or he's just going to wind up being in AAA all season. But Chase Headley was making $13 million next year.
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money,
especially for what he was doing.
But between Chase Headley unloading $13 million there and unloading about, I think it's $12 million or so for Starlin Castro, who went to the Marlins in the Stanton trade. Well, there's your money. Now the money makes sense because Headley and Castro were making the same as Stanton. So now you've just added Stanton and not had to add to the payroll. That's what that trade was about.
Okay, CC was 14-5 with 3.69 ERA.
How close was I?
You're right on.
That's amazing.
And 1-1 in the postseason.
Right.
What's WHIP mean? WHIP.
That's ratio. That's how many hits and walks you give up per inning. What does it say? 1 point something.
1.27.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Really?
That's better. A little better than average.
And his nickname is Dub.
Dub, yes.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So I mean, all of those numbers are good. But again, I mean, the problem that you have with CC, and this is why the Yankees are still pursuing the potential trade for Garrett Cole. Although I heard, and if this is true, then the Pirates are insane. But I heard that the Pirates wanted both Gleyber Torres and Clint Frazier as part of the Garrett Cole trade. And if there's any truth to that, then I want the Pirates general manager drug tested immediately because he's insane. You want the top prospect in all, top minor league prospect in all of baseball, and I'm not counting Shohei Ohtani in that or Ohtani in that because the Japanese player that just signed with the Angels, he's not a minor league prospect. He's going to be in the major leagues from day one. But you're talking about the best prospect in baseball, and Clint Frazier, who has been a top 20 prospect and showed last season that he is major league ready. And you want that for Garrett Cole, who, let's face it, last season was not an ace by any definition of the term. So if that's what the Pirates are asking for, then Brian Cashman, again, I know you're listening. I hope Brian Cashman just slammed the phone down and said, "Yeah, come back, call me when your therapy is over, and call me when you're sane again," because that's not happening.
Well,
now I could see Clint Frazier being part of a trade. So let's start there,
right?
Because right now the Yankees have a glut of outfielders.
What, like 6?
Yes, seven would Blash in that trade. But you're talking about probably Stanton in left. Or right now, Brett Gardner in left, and Aaron Judge in right, and I'm not even sure, probably Aaron Hicks in center. All right, my ideal outfield personally is Stanton in left, Hicks in center, Judge in right. Now the Yankees have a prospect in the minor leagues by the name of Estevan Florial, who 5-tool guy. Everybody says this guy is the next star Yankee center fielder of the future. He's going to be the next in line after Bernie. All right. But
how many more outfielders do you need? You already have Judge, who's Rookie of the Year,
right?
And Stanton, you just picked up as one of the best players in the league,
who still has 10 years left on his contract.
Yeah.
All right. But my point being that they don't need more outfielders right now. But if they wanted to trade Clint Frazier to get an ace kind of starter, like an ace caliber starter,
right?
You can't object to that. And as good as I think Clint Frazier is going to be in his career, if you have this kid Florial, who a lot of people think is a better prospect than Clint Frazier, then you need to get value for Frazier while he's still a hot commodity. Because Gardner is probably not being traded. I don't see Gardner being traded. If they trade him, they don't have anybody at the top of the lineup. They don't have any speed.
Right.
Ellsbury's not going to play. Basically, right now, the Yankees would love to unload Ellsbury's contract to anybody. And I could see them eating a lot of it just to get that done because right now, he is a spare part. He's a very expensive spare part. But that goes along the lines of lost value because that money is spent already. You know, you can't get out of that.
Right.
But if you could trade it, and even if you have to pick up 75% of that contract,
that's a lot.
Just do it. Just get rid of it because
he's
not going to play.
One of the problems right now, I think with the Yankees is that they have too many players.
Well, that's why they lost 4 players. They lost 4 players from the system in the Rule 5 draft last week. That happened on Friday. Most of any system or most of any franchise in baseball, 4 players got selected. I mean, it's not to say that all 4 of them are going to wind up on teams this year, but it shows how deep the Yankee system is and how many quality players they have because you can only protect 40.
Right.
And teams were picking Yankee players left and right. Hey, we got another Yankee. Great.
Well, I don't think the Mets did, but
I don't know if the Mets lost anybody in the Rule 5 draft, which speaks volumes about their system.
The Mets have been so quiet; it's scary. I'm not happy with what's going on.
Not much going on with the Mets.
Anyway, I have to read this before the show ends, brother. Just as a reminder, weekdays right here on WHPC, we have the Nassau Mix, the best of 90s, 2K, and today featuring the hit songs you know, some deeper album cuts, from artists you already love, with a focus on up-and-coming hits before they are hits. So listen to the Nassler Mix weekdays right here on WHPC. And now,
Do
by the
they
way,
play the alarm?
no, the alarm
It
doesn't.
says
have any
artists
hits.
you already love.
Yeah, well, that's the alarm.
alarm.
Alarm's not. It says 90s. Alarm not really in the 90s.
90s, no.
By the way, I saw your boy Dave Sharp is opening for the alarm in England.
Yes, he is.
So,
Yes,
I
he is.
saw that.
He did on the last tour, and he's doing some more dates with them. There's,
why don't they play together? Why don't they
there's been a nice little bit of peace.
Why don't
going on
they play together and make the fans happy?
Well, I don't know that Sharpie has been playing with the band, like doing like maybe some encores or something like that. But it wouldn't surprise me if it happened. Let's put it that way.
No. Also, let's quickly mention some soccer. Tottenham lost.
Tottenham.
Tottenham.
Not Tottenham. You keep saying Tottenham.
I like Tottenham.
Well, nobody cares what you like. It's wrong.
Well, for a long time I didn't call Ed Newlands Ed Newlands. I thought it was Ed Newlands.
See that, Big Ed?
So it took me
Call
a
him
while.
Big Ed.
That's why I call him Big Ed now. So anyway, Manchester City defeated Tottenham
Yes.
4-1. Let's hear it for Manchester City.
Manchester City right now, I'll tell you what. That is a frighteningly good team.
They're 17-0-1.
Yes, they have won 16 games in a row, which is a Premier League record. No team has ever won 16 games in a row. So right now, out of a possible 54 points,
Right.
they have 52, which is
incredible.
ridiculously good. And they are running away with the Premier League title. So I know a lot of my fellow Tottenham fans were very upset about the loss this week, but I'm trying to explain to them and tell them that we are right now watching something that by the end of the season I think will be regarded as historic, because that's how good Manchester City is right now. They're just it's scary. How
Well,
good they are.
I actually saw him watching the football game last night, and Al Michaels doing NBCSN promo for Liverpool, whoever Liverpool's playing this Saturday or something.
Couldn't tell you.
And I was like, wow, they're actually cross-promoting soccer on a football game.
Well, that's good. That's good. It's good that they promote that stuff because so many people probably still don't know it exists. But soccer fans know about NBCSN and that they can watch games there because that's pretty much the only place where you can watch games. Even though the Tottenham Manchester City match was actually on NBC this week, they had it on the big network.
Really?
Yeah. So
Well,
unfortunately, as it turned out for my own personal.
What can you do?
Preferences.
Brother. I mean, your team
I would
can't
have
win
preferred
every
that
time.
fewer people saw this match instead of more.
I actually like when Tottenham loses.
Because you're a contrarian, which
I
is
am
like
not a
you like to see things that I like do poorly. That's your
That's
thing.
not true.
That is
I
true.
want my brother to always be successful. And
Well, but you just said you like my favorite team to lose. So
it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with Tottenham.
well then,
When they change the name to Tottenham, then I'll be rooting for them. And then Big Ed hates soccer. He just told me before during the breaks, says, Rob, I hate soccer. Don't talk about it. And you know what I said?
come on, Big Ed.
I said, Big Ed, listen. Soccer is a fun sport. He played soccer a little bit, right, Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he likes
See, he likes soccer.
I don't hate soccer.
Massapequa
Come on.
Soccer Club.
It's Big Ed.
It's Big Ed. Anyway, we're getting out of here, brother. Thanks.
So Big Ed can do his show.
So thanks for showing up again, as always. You've been listening to From the Press Box
How to
right
survive
here.
my injuries to get here.
Yes, you've been listening to From the Press Box right here at 90.3 WHPC, WHPC HD, Garden City, New York. My name is Rob Leonard. He is Tim Leonard. The show will be up as a podcast later on today on Spreaker. Tim, you're at Twitter at?
That real Tim Leonard.
Take care. I'll see you Friday with Beatles songs.
The opinions expressed on air are not necessarily those of WHPC, its management, or Nassau Community College.
Responsible opposing viewpoints will be considered by emailing them to whpc@ncc.edu or by mail to WHPC 1 Education Drive, Garden City, New York 11530.
Thanks for listening to the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hey, I just got a ticket from one of those red light cameras.
Good news. My show, Law You Should Know, can help you fight that.
My brother just got arrested for shoplifting.
My show has info about that too.
My mom told me she's worried about whether she needs a will.
Law You Should Know can help her with that.
My cousin was hurt in a car accident. Can he sue?
Law You Should Know can